Oh, sorry. Didn't see you there. Give you a proper intro. Wicked! This is Jet from JetSpencer.com. I'm going to be doing a book review today. My first one. I'm really excited about this. I want to kind of use this as a catalyst to get people to start reading more. I feel like it's really kind of like a lost art. I can help people, get more books into their life, live better life, be more successful, connect the dots, and have, the same type of lifestyles that a lot of these authors have as well, which, many of them are very rich, famous, successful, all the things that people who are working on themselves, self-development, and that type of war are into. I called it a war. It is a war. Today's book, we're going to start off kinky. It's The Ethical Slut by Dossie Easton. It's a practical guide to polyamory, open relationships, and other adventures. And I recommend this book. I'd probably give it about 4 stars, if I'm doing stars, so to speak. And I really enjoyed this book because it kind of dispelled the whole notion of, people, particularly women, their value is based on how many dicks go into their fucking vagina. We're still viewing a woman's value strictly based on, how many partners she's had, rather than just viewing her as a human being, judging her, from her character, the way she presents herself, the actions she takes, the people she helps, the value that she gives to the world, rather than viewing someone as that. No. Society is, viewing women in particular strictly based on, how many partners and how much sex they have. It's very sad. In today's world, sex is viewed as the shameful secret. It's something that is not to be talked about. It is the word that must not be spoken. I mean, particularly in the Western world, it's ironic because you turn on the television, people are dying left and right. We're bombing, this, we're bombing that, and then, people are dying, hundreds of thousands of people, and you watch it on television, yet you can't see a boob. What? I mean, it still blows my mind how convoluted and stifled people are about sex. It really is it's really a sickness. This is a completely natural thing. Sex is no big deal. It's a completely natural thing. It is human. It is what makes us human. Now I can take a guess about you. I'm thinking real hard about this one, and I'm thinking your mother. Wait. And your father, they both, what did they do? They had the sex. They did the sex. They did the dirty deed and had you. So without that, you wouldn't even be here. Sex shouldn't be viewed as this nasty 3-letter word. It should be, open. It should be natural. It's the most organic thing on the planet. We have women and we have men, right? And if a man, so to speak, was to sleep with 20, 30, 40, 50 women, he would be viewed in envy. The society as a whole would say, man, he's able to meet these women, seduce these women, he's a lover of women. Everyone loves this man. He is a stud. This is the word, stud. The man is a stud. S-T-U-D. Then, if a woman was to do the exact same actions, and she was to go sleep with 20, 30, 40, 50 men, she would be viewed as a disgrace to society. Gross. Ugh. How can a girl ever do something like that? It is the most twisted and fucked up psychology, and it's really sad what we do to women this way. From a woman's perspective, a woman goes on a date with a guy. She's really into him. They got chemistry, things get hot and heavy in the bedroom, they end up having sex and fucking, right? And she did that strictly because there was chemistry, she liked the guy, and, this, that, and the other. But because she had sex on, say, like the first date, she's like a slut, right? Dirty, dirty slut. Then, and this is what society teaches women, is, no, hun. First of all, you must wait at least 2 or 3 dates before having the sex. The dirty, dirty sex. And you're gonna make him charge for it. I want him to take you on lavish dinners. He must take you to France. France, yes. No, no, no. The Alps. You must be in the Alps, cabin in the woods, with a bare mattress, bear rug, and a fireplace. And only then, because it's romantic, and there's a candle, then you can make love. That's what it is. It's making love then. But what do you call a woman that charges for sex? We call them a whore. So, this is what we've done to women. You can either be a slut or you can be a whore. Isn't it great what we do to women? You know what society does to women? It sucks. And this is the point where we're at. I mean, literally what society is telling women is that they're not allowed to exercise their own free will. They're essentially just telling girls that you have to wait. You don't want to do that. It's not natural. It's not good. It's not right. And when you're telling someone to not exercise their own free will, there's going to be a lot of inner turmoil inside of a person. In my example, I remember I was driving up and down the East Coast, and I had taken a stop, and I was in South Carolina, and I was at Myrtle Beach, and I met this girl from Chicago, and it was funny because she was telling me that, you know, girls need to stop having sex. You know, she was literally, like, which was ironic, you know, she was saying, like, girls shouldn't do this because guys aren't committing. And it's like, in my mind, I was thinking, if in order to keep a man, and don't get me wrong, sex is very big, you know, it's huge in terms of a healthy, stable relationship. In your mind, in order to keep a man, you have to, like, you know, withhold sex or not do what you naturally want to do because you want to keep your man. If a guy is staying with you strictly because what's between your legs, I mean, like, a man should want to stay with you based on what's between your ears. You know, what's in your heart, not what's in your legs. A healthy relationship isn't based on you know, her withholding sex and then him chasing. This is not a stable relationship whatsoever. But to say that, you know, guys aren't committing simply because of sex, I mean, it's like, that's not the type of relationship I want to be in. And you know, you need only look at the current divorce rate to see that, you know, clearly that's not working either. This is the type of psychology that's going around right now. These, I mean, literally, word for word, those are the things that, you know, I hear women saying to me. And I'm like, man, like, the brainwashing of society is real. People are so wrapped up in what other, you know, who's having sex with who. Who's doing this with this? Who's doing, like, it's just all this drama beats. And you're just like, move beyond this. You know what I mean? Like, sex is a natural part of a relationship. It doesn't need to be this. As long as society continues to come from a place where women are not allowed to exercise their own free will, there will be this continued social narrative where women are viewed as simply based on how much sex they have, and their value is deemed by that quality. But what I really want to talk about is the fact that in this book, she likes to go on and say it's the ethical slut. It's not just a slut, and that's the whole purpose of the book, calling it the ethical slut. She wants to take that word slut, and she wants to basically make it a good word, essentially. Because I can go, you know, I can go into a public place, I can be like stud. I can say stud all I want. Stud, 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 right? Then if I go into that same public place and I just start saying slut, 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 you know, I'm going to start getting some eyeballs real quick. And it's very unfortunate that, you know, stud and slut are literally just one letter apart. And one has a good connotation and one has a bad connotation. And the idea is to make it so that they're the exact same. You know, this is just the female equivalent of a stud. And there is nothing wrong with that. And I truly believe that. It's not just a slut. Not just a slut. It's a ethical slut. And where do ethics and sluttery come into this amazing twosome, so to speak? I prefer a threesome. But what is the difference between a slut and an ethical slut? Well, an ethical slut, for instance, is someone who understands communication. You know, if they have a partner, They want them to know that they're seeing other people. A lot of people can appreciate, even though it might hurt a little bit, it would hurt a lot more if that particular person was to lie, say that they weren't seeing somebody else, and then continue on about it anyway. The same aspect goes in where she says that not sleeping with partners that already have a committed partner in the process. And the thing is, there's this continued narrative that states that any relationship that doesn't ultimately lead to monogamy is somehow a failed relationship. And I don't believe that to be the case at all. You're able to actually, just like the whole idea that sex is this scarce commodity, love in and of itself is also viewed as this scarce commodity, as if you can only love so much. There's only so much love you can give. But love isn't something that can be quantified either. Love can be given freely. There's an unlimited amount of love, and it's this abundance mindset which is healthy in every aspect of everything self-development. In terms of relationships, love can be given as much as desired. There's an unlimited and copious amount of love. There is never a running out of love until one decides that there is no more love to give. People literally go out of their way to stop other people from having sex. And it's really crazy. I mean, whether it be, you see it in the club or something like that, whether it be the typical cock blocking, is not just stopped on that level, it's stopped at like a community level as well. I mean, it deeply in society, like if a woman is a slut, she shouldn't be given birth control. Like there are still states to this day that are trying to stop women from getting birth control. Why? If you're in a state that doesn't allow abortions, this is another thing. Both of these are radically anti-women, and yet people actually glorify this stuff. People think, because a woman sleeps with multiple men or has a plethora of partners, she can be confronted with violence. This is the type of woman who deserves to get beat up, kicked around maybe a little bit, thrown in the trash. She's trash. Kick her around a little bit, no big deal, right? And it's disgusting. This is the shit and the vile that is thrown at women simply because they exercise their own free will. Crazy. So polyamory and polygamy, just in general, in today's society, is viewed as abnormal, not something that one would consider as the standard, so to speak. Monogamy has been the consensus social standard for centuries at this point. We're coming to a very, very critical point in history where women could actually be remove their shackles and actually be viewed as human beings. And you really have to ask yourself, what is normal? Is normal what society says is normal? Whose reality do you want to live in? Do you want to live in your own reality, or do you want to live in the reality of someone else? And it's a deep question. It's a critical question one must ask themselves. And it's it's funny. She brings up in the book, Dossie Easton. She says, what is normal? Do you know what normal is? Normal is less than 2 minutes for the average man. So do you want to be normal? I'm sure a lot of people do not. And take this, pick up this book. Once again, it is The Ethical Slut by Dossie Easton. Great read for men and women alike. Learn a lot about relationships. Free yourself from sexual oppression. Don't allow society to dictate what your own morality, and continue to strive to make this world a better place to live in. That's all, my friends. Hope you took a lot out of this. I'll be doing a couple more book reviews coming up. I love this type of stuff. This is Jecht from JechtSpencer.com, signing out. Good fortune to you, my friend. You know, clearly, you know, not... I don't even know what I'm talking about. Let's just talk about the things that I want to talk about.